educate for her information. Come on and educate for her information. Educate for her information. Come on and educate me.
Sarah, come with me and take a look at the special garden Rick has. It's
so
wonderful.
beautiful,
Isn't it? It smells so good.
Magnificent.
So neat. Hello.
Oh, hello. I'm so glad you're here.
Nice to see you.
Hi, Rick. I'm Sarah. Nice to meet you.
We are here to take a look at your lovely garden.
Well, here it is
Right.
in all its
Beautiful.
glory. A perfect time to be here. I'm so happy to have you.
Well, Sarah is the inspiration for today's show, and your question is...
How can I enhance my family life through healthy food? And I thought you would be the perfect person to tell us this.
I think I can sort of get you started on that road, especially with this as a backdrop, I think. You know, I grew up in a family of restaurant people. I'm fourth generation, and when I was little, we used to buy all of our restaurant's food from what would amounted to a great big farmer's market. But by the middle 60s, that sort of all went away, and everything was trucked in, and we kind of made a disconnect with the source of the food.
How does that happen?
Well, it's an unfortunate thing that it's happened
Yeah.
for almost everybody in our country. But when I opened my restaurant, I wanted to establish that connection back to the farm. Then I have a daughter that was born in 1991 now, and I wanted her to have that experience, but we live in the middle of the city, so I tried to figure out, like, how can I give her that growing up on a farm experience?
Right.
Well, this is it. I just turned the backyard into a production garden so that we could actually harvest stuff for our restaurant. And when we eat dinner, I can just send her out to do a little harvesting right before
Go work the farm, honey, right?
work it. Pick some lettuce and we'll make a salad, or pick some tomatoes and we'll make a salsa. That's what it's really all about, and that's why I have what I have.
So the concept is really fresh. Pick it yourself. You know who picked it, either your daughter or yourself, right? And instant quality because you know where it came from.
Right.
Organic.
It's sort of like being in touch with all the seasons, because you can only go out and harvest the stuff that's ripe and ready at that moment.
Right.
The other thing is that we grow everything organically here, so
Right.
that means that we've taken really good care of the soil.
And that's a key point.
It is. We have really healthy soil.
That's wonderful.
here.
How can someone, I don't know, this may be a long answer, but how can someone at home who wants to have a garden or start a garden, you talked about boxes earlier, planter boxes, work with their soil? Is it just a matter of purchasing pounds and pounds of soil, or is there a way to...
Compost is really the way to go. You got to
Okay.
buy compost, because that's what will make the soil you have really healthy.
Okay.
I even add it when I make the big planter boxes.
And where can you find this?
You can buy it at many different places, just including a regular garden center. Just ask for some composted materials, and it'll really enrich and make a very, very nutritious bed to grow all these great fruits and vegetables in.
Very cool. So that's a really good tip for you to keep in mind at
That's
home.
right.
You too.
Buy some compost.
Compost, yes. I noticed you have so many different types of peppers. I'm originally from Mexico, so I love peppers.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit about what I can and shouldn't use together?
Well, I'll tell you, since you're from Mexico originally, you know that there are all these different varieties, and each one has a different flavor. That's what I keep trying to explain to my gringo friends. It's not all about heat.
Not just one pepper,
It's
right?
not one pepper.
Right.
It's all about these great flavors. We've got habaneros behind you there, and then if you look back here, serrano peppers, and there's one over there that I brought back from Peru, and it makes this beautiful yellow turning to orange pepper that they call ají amarillo, and it's beautiful.
Okay.
I
So
can't
all
wait
of
to try
these can
some of
be
these.
used,
I know.
but I like to use them one at a time. I don't like to put them in combination, because then you sort of lose their distinctiveness.
Okay, that makes sense. That's a really great tip too, because I would have thought pepper, I wouldn't know, and I just throw them all together.
That's right. A lot of people do that, but it's better to keep them separate. It's a really sensual garden, because to me, the greatest satisfaction that I have is walking through and smelling the herbs when I crush them in my fingers. Now a lot of the stuff that I have here comes from Mexico. This is Mexican oregano here. This is a leaf from the southern part of Mexico called hoja santa, saintly leaf. And if you rub it just gently between your finger, you'll smell something that smells a little like sarsaparilla. This is pitiona from Oaxaca, and it's got a slightly citrus-like flavor to it. And when you walk through here and brush against all of these things, it just releases all these beautiful aromas into the air.
I feel like I'm walking through a salad.
That's right. I'm wanting you
It
to
doesn't
feel
even
that
need
way.
dressing. You know, it's like
No, actually, the aromas are the dressing, I
Right.
think, in
There
this
you go.
situation.
Rick, it's amazing the flavor you get from fresh herbs as opposed to buying store-bought
Isn't it the
dried
truth?
products.
or
Well,
the sprinkle. You
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
One of the things that I really love to do is to pick a little bit of it and add just a small amount to, say, scrambled eggs or something. And I've noticed that through the years, my daughter has really gotten used to the flavor of all these different herbs because we add them in very simple ways to things. And that's a way that you can really enhance your family's life. Everyone can grow a pot of herbs someplace. You just on a back porch. This basil that we have growing over here, that was my first plant that I ever grew.
I have one of these.
Oh, smell that.
one thing I do
it's just
have.
one of the most incredible smells in the world. You add some of this to a simple pasta with marinara sauce, and everybody says, what happened?
What did he do? He's
Yeah.
magical.
And that's what you can get by adding fresh herbs. Just simple.
When we come back, we'll harvest in the garden. Stay tuned.